happiness. Spread a little happiness. Find a little easier stress. 'Cause life's too short.
Thank you very much. We're called Keywest. Thank you very much for stopping to listen to us. That was just our first song. It's called The Happiness Project. It's just kind of a little song off one of our albums. Long story short, we're just two members of a five-piece band, and we've had 3 official #1s here in Ireland, album-wise. We've had 5 #1 singles and 3 nominations in the Irish Music Awards, as well as a platinum album. We decided to walk away from our label, agency, publisher, manager, and everybody else, and kind of become as independent as possible. So have a listen to a couple of songs and see what you think. If you do like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, please come on over to us in between the songs, maybe take away our albums. A bit more about us as we go, though. We've had an interesting journey over the years, and we find ourselves back here playing on the streets, as well as playing on the streets around the world, building our fan base the old-fashioned way. So this next one is a song called Something Beautiful. It's actually about being at a festival years ago. There was a festival in Ireland called EP Electric Picnic, which started this week, or was on this weekend, just gone. And a few years ago in 2016, I was at the festival, and I wrote this song about the experience. And the following year, I was not only at the festival, I was on the main stage with the band. We were singing this song on the stage to about 40,000 people, which is a wonderful sort of changeover. Have a listen, see what you think. It's on this album right here. It's called Something Beautiful, and if you do decide at any stage you'd like to take away our albums, it is only 20 for all 3 of the albums, and then we also have these bags here which are totally free. They're a great souvenir to remember being here on Grafton Street. For those of you who are just visiting. And I know you're all thinking the same thing. You don't need a CD player. This bit's important. This album is not on Spotify or anywhere else. It's only available off us. Behind the CD there is a little set of instructions and a password, and that allows you to download or stream the music directly from our website. That password gives you access to the website, to the album on the website, and you can share it with as many people as you like, your friends, your family. It's not limited by device, but you can't get it on Spotify, Amazon, or anywhere else. So have a listen, see what you think. This next song is, as I said, it's called Something Beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. We're also streaming live here now as well. We like to do all of our street performances as live streams, and that helps us reconnect with all the people we've met on the streets over the years, who are from all over the world, because we've played all over the place, as well as people who travel from all over the place and come to Ireland. So if anybody's watching on the 3 different platforms, say hello, tell us where you're from, and we'll say hello back. This song is called Something Beautiful. By the way, that bag says the best buskers in the world are made on Grafton Street, Ireland, with life. This is the most famous street in the world for street performers. In fact, it produces more successful musicians than any other street in the world by far. It's an academy for great music. There's a lot of people come through here that aren't even from Ireland. Ed Sheeran was here at one stage, Passenger was here, never mind every Irish artist who's gone on to do things. It's pretty much a rite of passage for most Irish musicians to start on this street, and we think it's the best thing about Dublin. So if you do decide you want to get all 3 of these albums plus the bag, it is only 20 for everything. Or you can go to Temple Bar and get 2 Guinness for $17.50. That's up to yourself. That's not a number I plucked out of my head, by the way. That's a fact. That's how much it costs. All right. This is called Something Beautiful. Wait, did I see you out with him?
Well, you lost my love. You seem lost my love. It's so strange, cause that boy he seems so dim, and you shine like the sun. What were you thinking of? Ooh, how mends your broken heart? And when you fall apart, who's there to pick the pieces up? When I close my eyes, I just see you. Oh, it'd be so much better together, stuck like glue. I'm thinking this could be something beautiful. I'm thinking this could be something beautiful. Do you remember all those lazy summer days? Drinking cheap red wine, no sense of time. Lost at the picnic, running, laughing hand in hand. And body and soul we meet, flying higher than the trees. Ooh, I love that you're so free. You keep coming back to me, but someday you'll find I'll be waiting. When I close my eyes, I just see you. Oh, it'd be so much better together, stuck like glue. I'm thinking this could be something beautiful. I'm thinking this could be something beautiful. Oh, this couldn't be something beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, we're called Keywest, guys. Thanks so much for stopping to listen to us. As I said, I will tell you a little bit more about us. That last song was called Something Beautiful. That was, in fact, not only a #1 song here in Ireland, it was actually nominated for Song of the Year in 2017 in the Irish Music Awards. As I said, we're just two members of a 5-piece band. The reason we don't play on the street with 5 people is it takes too long to move 5 people around. This is Glover, my name is Cav, and we go by those names because we're both Andrew. We've been friends since we were 6 years old, and we started playing on the street when we were 14. We went over to Los Angeles when we were 18. There's 5 people in the band. We met the first 2 guys in LA and the final member of the band in Key West in Florida. We went back over to LA, we started busking on 3rd Street Promenade, and we wound up working with a producer called Mark Needham. He's a legendary producer. He produced the Mr. Brightside album for The Killers, Rumours for Fleetwood Mac, Wicked Game for Chris Isaac, Radioactive for Imagine Dragons. His list is very extensive, and we signed a record deal in around 2012, something like that. Since then, we've had 3 #1 albums, 9 top 10 singles, 5 #1 singles, 3 nominations in the Irish Music Awards, a Platinum Award, numerous awards from around the world, and our debut album was #1 for almost a month when we released it in 2015 for that album. So since then, we decided we wanted to get out of our contracts. We got fed up with the system. A lot of people don't know this, but one album sale on the street is worth 7,500 streams, which means a band of 5 people need over 60 million streams per year to have the same wages as 5 Spotify employees. So we've got friends over in the US that are in bands that do between 70 and 100 million streams per song, and they're broke because the record label takes about 80% of what comes in. And that's how it works. And you have management taking about 20-25%, publishers taking 50%, promoters and agents. So there's just so many layers that most of the time the artists are broke, and it looks like they're doing great. And they'll do their best to kind of convey that, you know, you really have to be getting towards the billions of streams if you want to be what people used to think musicians make. So for us, we decided we'd do the old-fashioned approach. We'd come back and start busking on the streets and build a strong foundation by building our fans one person at a time. So have a listen to a couple of songs. We get one opportunity to win you over. What tends to happen for us is a lot of the time people go home after watching us on the street and they think about it later on that night and they realise that they've never walked down the street anywhere in the entire world and never heard somebody tell them they had 3 #1 albums. And then they go look us up and decide to see if they can verify it for themselves, and you will verify it, and then you might end up following us on some of these live streams, or you might end up liking some more music, and then it sort of turns into, I should have got an album on the street, because you realise what the chances of us meeting each other on the street again. You have to be in the same country, same city, same street, same hour, no rain. That's 5 things that all have to line up for us to meet each other at the exact same hour at some stage. So most of the time we never get to meet people twice. We get one chance to win you over. So if you do decide you want to be a part of what we're doing, pop over in between the songs. In the meantime, thanks so much for listening. This next song is called The Little Things. It's about the little things in life that end up being the most important. It's on this album right here. And again, just to remind you, it is only 20 for all three of the albums. If you don't have a CD player, this bit's important. Behind the CD, there's a set of instructions and a password. That password gives you access to where you can either download the album to your phone from our website, or you can stream it directly. It'll work for as many phones as you want. You can share it with your friends and family. It is not limited. It's a simple idea. It's one purchase and you have it for life in as a stream or a download and as a CD, all three platforms. So hopefully you'll be a part of what we're doing. The bag is totally free. As I said, that says the best buskers in the world are made on Grafton Street. And in a world where nothing is unique anymore and everything is mass produced, at least that's interesting and fun. Much more interesting than something that just says Ireland, Dublin, Trinity, Guinness or Temple Bar on it. So thanks so much again for your time. This is called The Little Things and it's about everything I just said. How you doing? This is about reevaluating your values, I guess. It's called The Little Things, and if you don't mind, guys, this song kind of has a little bit of energy. It's also quite a loud song. Can I ask you to come in closer to us, into where our line is here, because we're not allowed to block the area, and two, like I said, this song is we're warming up now. That was just our first two songs, so I need you to get in just a little bit closer and help us not block the area, and also dampen the sound a little bit, which is nice. All right, and again, there is only two of us, so remember we're giving you an acoustic version, but we're going to try and give you the best sort of energy we can to give you an example of what it would sound like if you heard the whole band. And we're also streaming live right now on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The TikTok phone overheated. We have to use 4 phones for this stuff, but that's just how it is.
Good morning from New York.
Oh, we got somebody in New York watching. Who's?
Please play Look at You Now.
That's the New York
request.
Look at you now. Okay.
Hi.
Cheers.
When someone says hi from somewhere, let me know their name as well so I can say hello back. We're trying to incorporate people from our live streams as well into the show. It's tricky to figure this all out, but we're getting there. But we're going to start with this and then we might do that one after, if we remember how. I think that we could do that. You don't think so? We'll look at it though. We'll look at it and see. Call it. All right. Still out of tune.
When you're crying, I will understand, and I will always be right here to hold your hand. When it's darkest, when you're all alone, I will be that shining light to guide you home. 'Cause it's the little things, I swear, the way you sing when you dry your hair. It's the little things we share. The way you hold my hand after all these years, you make me laugh when I'm close to tears. We stay up late drinking cheap red wine, Like it's our first date, we'll just talk all night about the little things. When you're older, when your bones feel weak, I will sing to you until you fall asleep. And when it's colder, when it gets hard to move, I will dance with you right there in the living room. 'Cause it's the little things you do, the way you laugh when I act a fool. It's the little things you do. The way you hold my hand after all these years. You make me laugh when I'm close to tears. We stay up late drinking cheap red wine. Like it's our first date, we'll just talk all night. I tell you all my fears, and you just say, we'll play it all by ear. We'll be okay. We're so much stronger than all of this. We'll build our lives up brick by brick upon the little things. Up on the little things. Up on the little things.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're called Keywest, guys. Thank you so much for stopping to listen to us. It's all original music. Again, if you have just arrived along, thank you very much for stopping. And as I said, in between the songs, I will be talking a little bit, letting you know about the next song, letting you know about the band. And if anybody wants to take away the music, Glover will be available to have a chat with you. So as I said, essentially, we've traded in the labels, agencies, publishers, managers, and everybody else for a more independent approach. We have had 3 #1 albums in the past. We've had 9 top 10 singles, 5 #1 singles, a platinum album, 3 nominations in the Irish Music Awards, and quite an extensive run around the world for the last 10 years. We decided that in the end, we were just not enjoying the situation. We were getting ripped off in some cases, and we just said enough is enough. So we decided we would try and build a strong foundation by going back to how we started. We began as street performers. How you doing? We began as street performers years ago, so we decided we would try and do that again and grow a strong foundation, one person at a time. There is 5 people in Keywest. We're just playing on the street with 2 because it takes too long to get 5 people organised, and you can only play for an hour. So as it stands now, we've only played 3 songs and it's halfway through. So we generally get 6 songs. That's not a lot of time to be able to get a whole band moving around. So if you do like what we're doing and you want to take away the music, as I said, in between each song, I'll be talking for a moment to let you know a little bit about us. It is only 20 for all 3 of our albums. This is the only place you can get our brand new album. It's not on Spotify or anything like that, because one album sale is worth 7,500 streams on Spotify. That being said, if you don't have a CD player, this bit's important. Behind the CD there is a set of instructions and a password. That password will give you access to the album as a download or a stream on our website, essentially. We're building our own community on our website where you can, with the passwords, you can download the albums, stream them, get tickets to shows. We're staying away from all the other mainstream services. For example, if we go on tour with an agent and a promoter, all the tickets end up getting bought up and resold on different sites for higher prices, so we end up in venues that are half full because everybody's been ripped off. However, our last tour was sold out entirely because we sold all the tickets through our own ticketing app on our website. So we'd like to just kind of build this ourselves. We feel there's no need for anybody else, providing if people buy the music from us, we have the money to make more. It costs us between 40 and 50,000 every time we record an album and get it mixed and mastered to the standard we need to get it mixed and mastered to. Every tour that we do costs us between 20 and 25,000 just to rent the venues, just for those venues, just to rent them, first of all, before we even get going. So that's kind of how this works, and people buying the music off us, being part of what we're doing, coming to our shows, you're funding everything. So it's a cooperative, it's a people-powered band instead of a label-powered band or a corporate-powered band. How you doing?
As I said to your colleague, it takes a lot to go against the system, so I really respect you. Good luck. Cheers.
All right. Um, as I said, guys, we are. If you do decide you want to take away the albums, the value deal is the best deal. It's only 20 for all three of the albums. The bag is totally free, and that bag says the best buskers in the world are made on Grafton Street, Ireland. And the reason we got that made is we know a lot of you are visiting Ireland, and you might think about getting a souvenir at some stage, and it'll probably be something that says Ireland or Dublin or Trinity, Guinness, Temple Bar, something along those lines. Sorry, I swallowed a fly there about 2 minutes ago, and I can't seem to get it down. I know that sounds horrible, but it's the hazards of the job. Tickled my uvula. So, basically, that's a great souvenir to remember being here on the street. This is the most famous street in the world for street performers. It has produced more successful musicians than any other street in the world. Performers come from all over the world to play here on their way to success. Ed Sheeran was one of those people, Passenger, James Bay, as well as every other Irish artist. This street is quite literally a rite of passage for Irish artists to come out and play and grow and build. It's a wonderful academy, and the way it works is because there's such a high standard of music on the street, and there is, it's a Monday today, so it's quiet, but over the weekend, everybody would be out, and there's a very high standard of music. There are people from all over the world playing on the street every single week, and because it's a high standard, everybody kind of meets and comes up to it, so it's a great way to remember being here. And like I said, it's a little bit more unique, a little bit more interesting. Everything else in the world is basically mass-produced and sold in stores. At least you'll have something actually unique. I think that's why vintage clothes took off, because people wanted to start getting unique stuff. And now vintage clothes stores are owned by Primark. So that's just the corporate how it works, right? Thanks so much again for listening to us. This next song is called... Any requests?
All My Mistakes.
Who asked for Look At You Now, by the way? That's a hard song.
Yeah, the King.
Huh?
I was fine.
So we're also streaming live here, don't worry, he's pointing that at me, on 3 different platforms, and that's a great way for us to...
Thank you so much, man.
Oh, cheers, man.
I'm very, very privileged to be a part of this thing.
Oh, great, thank
You
you.
know, it's awesome vibes. Good rocket.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Gary King
Yeah,
from New York.
very keen. So we're gonna get that back in for you, because I think she's asked for it more than once, so we'll get that back in for her. So as I said, yeah, we're streaming live. We like to include the people who are tuned in, because over the years we've played all over the world, and you know, there's literally a couple of 100,000 people around the world that tune in over different times, and we like to stay in touch. We normally go live on 3 platforms, but today we're just live, or 4 platforms, but today we're just live on 3. There you go. Thank you. So, and we're trying to figure out how to include them, get them talking, get it all kind of branched out, see if we can get the algorithm moving, get it back to the way it used to be. You come around to the front here and
Yes.
just shout at me. If anyone says hello from anywhere, just let me know.
From England.
Yeah.
Oh.
So somebody asked for songs?
Look at You Now.
Yeah, keep going.
All My Mistakes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Who asked for All My Mistakes? We'll do that one now. This one's called All My Mistakes. I wrote this essentially about getting into a relationship that I knew was going to fail, because she was too good looking, and I knew she'd figure that out on her own eventually. So the idea of this song is, of all the mistakes I'll make, you'll be my favorite. And it's from this album right here.
Jordan Connolly. Jordan Connolly? Connolly.
Alright, this is for Jordan. All My Mistakes.
She likes her whiskey, sharing the glass with ice. She's a heartbreaker and she'll break your heart up nice. She's the great unknown, the kind you should leave alone. But I've had regrets much more than a few. It all ends the same way with deja vu. But of all my mistakes, you're still my favorite one. before you know it, you've been demoted down to friend. You're just an uninvited guest who stays until the very end. You're like a perfect storm, and I am sinking like a stone. But I've had regrets much more than a few. It all ends the same way with deja vu. But of all my mistakes, you're still my favorite one. And I saw it coming way down the line. I knew in the end you'd never be mine. But of all my mistakes, oh, you'll be my favorite. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Oh, you'll be my favorite. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Oh, you'll be my favorite one.
Thank you very much. Again, we're called Keywest, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. This next song is called This Is Heartbreak. This was a #1 song for us here in Ireland. I wrote this when I was 18, the day after I got dumped. This song actually propelled us all the way to platinum status with our debut album. And essentially, what happened with this song was, so we've always lived together. We've been friends since we were kids. And he came across this cassette tape once. He was listening to a few of the songs on it. He heard this song. Now, normally we'd write the songs together. So he heard this song that he'd never heard before. He suggested we put it on the album. I said, absolutely not. He said, why not? I said, I don't want to relive that moment for the rest of my life. It wasn't a great one. And he said, but it's only going on the album. Sure, nobody will hear it. And then it went onto Spotify just on the album. It was never released as a single. And within 2 weeks, it was streamed 3 million times, and it was in the #1 position in the charts in Ireland, despite not being released. And it stayed #1 for 6 weeks, and now I have to relive it forever. It's called This Is Heartbreak, and for those of you who've just arrived along, if you'd allow me a moment quickly to tell you a little bit about us. We're called Keywest. We're a 5-piece band. His name is Glover and my name is Cav, and we go by those names because that's our surnames. We're both Andrew. We've been friends since we were 6 years old. We started playing here at 14, and then we went over to America when we were 18. We met the first 2 guys in Los Angeles and the final member of the band in Key West in Florida. As I said, we are a 5-piece band. We went back to LA, started busking on 3rd Street Promenade, and we wound up working with a wonderful producer called Mark Needham. He's a legend. He produced some of the most iconic albums in the history of music, including the Rumours album for Fleetwood Mac. I think you'll all agree, arguably one of the best albums ever. Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Fleetwood, or not, what's the other one? Wicked Game, Chris Isaac was another big one that he did. And Radioactive, Imagine Dragons, that was another more recent big album that he did. His work to Pink, Bruno Mars, his list's very extensive. So we had a humbling pleasure of working with him, and we signed a deal around 2012. And since then, we've had 3 #1 albums, we've had 9 top 10 singles, 5 #1 singles, a platinum album, 3 nominations in the Irish Music Awards. And I don't say all of these things because I'm trying to impress you. I'm trying to say them all now because what happens is, hopefully, you'll process all of that now instead of later. Because what happens a lot is people go home later on, they talk about their day, and they realise that they've never walked down any street in the entire world and heard anybody tell them that they're busking on the street and they've had 3 #1 albums. And it's not that people don't use busking to get somewhere, it's just that how do you go back? How do you go from playing stages like Coachella to playing on the street? It's very hard to do. But in our case, we just got fed up with the companies, we got fed up with the corporates, we got fed up being with the agencies, the managers, promoters, labels, publishers. It took a long time to get out of every deal, because every time you got out of one deal, you still had 3 or 4 more to leave. So each one timed out at a different time, and eventually we were totally free. Doing it this way builds a strong foundation, because every time we make a fan here on the street, we stay connected through our live streams, we stay connected through everything else. If you don't have a CD player, our brand new album, first of all, is not available anywhere else. It's called Anything But Normal. It's called Anything But Normal because of everything I just said. We don't want to do the normal, we want to do anything but the normal. It represents our change in what we're trying to do. It's not available anywhere else except for off us. However, behind the CD, there is a set of instructions and a password. And that password will give you access to the album on our website, where you can download it or stream it directly using the player. It's very simple, it works great, it'll never expire, it's yours forever. So it's a simple concept. One purchase and you get the album as a CD, a download and a stream all in one, but you can't get it anywhere else. You can only get it off us. And to offer you as much value as we can, because we know we're asking you to make an impulse decision, it is only 20 for all 3 of the albums, and the bag here is totally free. It's a great souvenir. It says the best buskers in the world are made on Grafton Street, Ireland, with love, Key West. even if you're from here and you have that bag, people will read it and you'll have something that's relatively unique because everything else is in shops. And let's be honest, we all own the same stuff as each other. But that is unique and interesting and fun. And you're supporting something that isn't a giant corporation. I mean, this street now has 3 Starbucks on it. 3 in 50 metres. One at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the middle. That's corporates. There'll be 2 more in another year, I guarantee you. So that's the thing. We just want to like get out of that system and build something of our own. So if you'd like to be a part of that, take away the albums, because I won't get a second chance to give them to you. And thanks so much for your time. As I said, this song is called "This Is Heartbreak," and yeah, hopefully you'll see the value in that, because if you go to Temple Bar today and you get 2 Guinness, it'll cost you $17.50. That's a fact, by the way. So don't do that. That's a fact. I've seen the receipts. So if you do, yes. Okay, we're being told to get on with it. This is called "This Is Heartbreak," and if you like this, come over to us after this song, guys. Glover will be able to help you out, and then we can sign them for you. And the card, we do take card as well as cash, so if you don't have cash. And thanks so much for your time, we appreciate it. This is called "This Is Heartbreak." Could I ask you guys just to take a few steps closer as well? We're not allowed to block too much of the space. So if you can come in closer to our red line here, then it proves that we've managed our space. That's an important detail. Thank you. Today the world doesn't feel quite the same. Today I opened up my eyes, but I didn't wake. And maybe I was dreaming, and I never heard you say you don't love me anymore. Me and you are yesterday. Oh no, this must be heartbreak. Oh no, this must be heartbreak. When will I be okay? When will I be myself? When will I move on and fall in love with someone else? I'm hurting over and over again. I can't take it. Someone tell me when my heart will stop breaking. 'Cause I ask the same old questions every day. Where did I go wrong? Was there something I could say? And did you ever love me? Or was I just a passing phase? Seems like I was making plans while you made your great escape. Oh no, this must be heartbreak. Oh no, this must be heartbreak. When will I be okay? When will I be myself? When will I move on and fall in love with someone else? I'm hurting over and over again. I can't take it. Someone tell me when my heart will stop breaking. Someone tell me when my heart will stop breaking. This is heartbreak. This is heartbreak. This is heartbreak. Oh, oh. This is heartbreak. This is heartbreak. This is heartbreak. Oh, oh. Today the world